Hi, if you are afraid of reading tests in IELTS, this video is for you because I'm going to show you how to answer IELTS reading questions. So stay with me and watch this video up to the end. And if you have the IELTS Cambridge books, go to Cambridge 17, Test 2, Passage 3. And the passage I've selected is on pages 45 and 46 of the book. So let's get started. Well, the first thing is, of course, this is a common mistake. Some people go to the questions first, but don't do that. The first step is always to look at the whole text real quick, or as the term says, you need to skim it. You need to skim the text first before you even look at the questions, because we don't have any information about the subject matter. So it's very risky to look at the questions without a global understanding of the text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my marker. So if you take IELTS on paper, you can use a pencil, and on a computer, you can still use the highlighter tool to mark the phrases that you want. So the first step is to look at the title of the text, which says Insight or Evolution. I know what evolution means, so let's find out more. Let's say you don't know what the evolution means. Even if you don't know what it is, you can still read the subtitle or subheading, which says two scientists consider the origins of discoveries and other innovative behavior. Okay, the origins of discoveries and something about behavior. Well, we don't know much yet, but we're finding out about the content. Now, the next step after the heading and the subheading is to look at the introduction. Usually the last sentence of the introduction, which is typically the thesis statement, is where you need to read to understand the essay plan or the purpose behind this article. So to save time in the test, you can just skip the introductory sentences and go to the last sentence of the introduction, which says, conventional wisdom also places great weight on insight in promoting breakthrough scientific achievements, as if ideas spontaneously pop into someone's head, fully formed and functional. So, first of all, remember not to read the text out loud. I'm doing it because I want you to follow along. But when you're taking an IELTS reading test by yourself, try to avoid subvocalizing. I mean, do not say the words out loud, or do not say the words even in your head. So be 100% silent, even in your head. Focus on the meanings, not on the concepts, not on the pronunciations. So, okay. So it's important to underline the keywords as you read, because later, when you go to the questions, you don't want to come back and read the whole thing again. So this underlining can summarize the text for you. And we don't underline the words which are simply unknown to you or are like proper nouns like places or numbers. No, we're focusing on ideas for now. It's about how ideas pop in your head. So ideas, someone's head. And scientific achievements. Okay. We're still not sure what the text is all about. We know it's about something about wisdom and an insight and evolution and the origin of discoveries and behavior. But let's find out more. There are many paragraphs that follow. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter. No matter how long each paragraph is, you need to read the first sentence typically, because it is where you may find the main idea of the paragraph. So this may be there may be some limited truth to this view. Okay, so it's true. However, you believe, okay, well, there's a however. So I'm going to read this part too, because it seems like this is the actual truth. This is the actual, fact the writer is going to share with us. So we believe that it largely misrepresents the real nature of scientific discovery. As well as that of creativity and innovation in many other realms of human endeavor. Wait a second. misrepresents the real nature of scientific discoveries. Okay. So it's about ideas popping in somebody's head, but it seems like it is not true because of the word however. Okay, next paragraph. Setting aside such greats as Darwin and Einstein, whose monumental contributions are duly celebrated, we suggest that innovation is more a process of trial and error. So that's the actual truth. We're 2 steps. Okay, we don't need to read more. Consider one unheralded scientist, John Nicholson. We don't care about pronunciations, of course. Mathematical physicist. Okay, so we have an example here. Okay, we have a scientist. We don't care what these other words are. What did he do? The existence of proto elements in outer space. So, okay, there's an example of a scientist who did this. Well, what did he do? We'll find out later. Who are we to make of this story? One might what are we yeah, sorry. What are we to make of this story? One might simply conclude that science is a collective and okay, so we want to learn something from this story. All right, so the story was above, and this is what we find out. The conclusion is we want to conclude that science is a collective and cumulative enterprise. So it's a collective and cumulative enterprise. That may be true. Okay, again, just like however, we need to move on. I mean, we need to read on, but there may be a deeper insight to be gleaned. So there might be a deeper insight. So there's a deeper insight there. We propose that science is constantly evolving. Okay, just like animals do. All right, okay, I see. So, okay, okay. Where are we here? Support for this evolutionary view of behavioral innovation comes from many domains. So the different domains in which there is behavioral innovation. Plenty of other stories show that the fresh advances can arise from error, misadventure, and also pure serendipity, a happy accident. So that's the meaning. If you don't know what serendipity means, the definition is right there after the term. But anyway, anyhow, there are other stories, and I guess we have examples here. Yes, show that the true. Okay, so scientific discoveries are the result of error and misadventure, and sometimes just luck or happy accident. Fine. Okay, this paragraph seems to be about the other examples that prove that such discoveries are the result of errors and misadventure rather than plans. So the notions of insight, creativity, and genius are often invoked, but they remain vague and of doubtful scientific utility, especially when one considers the diverse and enduring contributions of individuals such as Plato, Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. I don't understand much here, but let's see. The notions of insight, creativity, and these are often invoked. Especially when it comes. All right. So again, it's about the notions of insight, creativity, and genius. All right. We can read this paragraph later if there is a question from this paragraph. Otherwise, well, we just skip this paragraph altogether. Who knows? Maybe there's no questions about this subject matter. The law of effect was advanced by a psychologist, Edward blah blah, in 1898, some 40 years after religious organic biological evolution. So the law of effect. So this is about a psychologist. As you can see, I'm not underlining these numbers because they don't matter for now. What we care about is ideas, like psychologist, law of effect. Okay. Of course, the origin of human innovation demands much further study. Okay, that's about this paragraph is about the future and the further study that is needed. So the whole text is about the origin of human innovation. The time seems right for abandoning the naive notions of intelligent design and genius and for scientific. Okay, so we should forget about the intelligent design theory and focus on the true origins of creative behavior. Fine. Okay, this process, without my explanation and without talking to you guys, would take me about 1 to 3 minutes. So make sure you don't exceed this time frame. Try to stay within 1 to 3 minutes when it comes to the skimming process, because the aim is not to understand the details, but to collect the main ideas. Next, there'll be questions. Okay, now I care about the questions that follow. Well, it's best to take a look at all the questions that follow and making sure you know which types of questions they are. Like this one, these are multiple choice questions. We have yes, no, not given questions. And okay, we have a summary question with a box of, we have a summary task with a box of words, sorry, the box of words to choose from. So, one thing is certain, and that is in IELTS, some question types are always in passage order, and if we see them in the text, like in our task, like in this like test 2, you should start with those question types. For example, multiple choice questions. The questions come in passage order, meaning if I don't know where these paragraphs are, at least I know that 29 is before 30. Now, in this case, we are even luckier because we have the numbers like first paragraph, second paragraph already given to us, third paragraph. So this is not an issue. But if these words were not there, we would have to look for these places. And this order of questions would be very beneficial. What about yes or no not given questions? Yeah, the same. These question types are always in passage order. So 32 is found before 33. And if I cannot find 34, for example, well, and I find 35, 34 will have to be between 33 and 35. Does that make sense? So we have to now, okay, what about the last one? Sorry. This is one of those questions that should be done towards the end of the test, meaning as soon as I see the word summary, I know it takes a lot of reading and it takes a lot of well, energy and time. So I would recommend doing this at the end when, I mean, and if there is time, there should be time, of course, but when you do this at the end of the test, you will have learned a lot about the text already, thanks to the other question types here. And then picking the right answers from the box would be much easier. So let's forget about this for now. I would start with one of these two. It doesn't really matter which one. Usually, when these, okay, 1 second. Usually, when we are given the paragraph numbers, well, on the one hand, it's good news because we won't have to be looking for the paragraphs because we know where they are. But on the other hand, the problem is that usually these questions require you to read the paragraph, the corresponding paragraph, completely. And the questions are usually pretty general. And you need to have a general understanding of the paragraph before you can pick the relevant option. Now, my advice is not to look at these options at all. Okay, so try not to look at them because they could be distracting, I mean. So the thing is, by reading the paragraph itself, we can gain some understanding, and then the correct answer will be more visible and more obvious, you know. So the purpose of the first paragraph is to, I can answer that. Let's see. Okay, the first paragraph. We read the end of it, and it okay, that's not enough. We need to read the paragraph completely now. Scientific discovery is popularly believed to result from the sheer genius of such intellectual stars as naturalist Charles Darwin and the theoretical Albert Einstein, our view of such unique contributions to science often disregards a person's prior experience and the efforts of their lesser-known predecessors. Conventional wisdom also places great weight on insight in promoting breakthrough scientific achievements, as if ideas spontaneously pop into someone's head, fully formed and functional. So it seems like it is trying to tell us that this is not the fact. I mean, it's not really about an insight, it's about an evolutionary process. I mean, the way it's all about the way the brain of such scientists works. Let's see. We are, yeah, defend particular ideas. Well, no. What ideas? It was actually saying the opposite. It was saying that no, the idea is not right. Especially if you noticed here, we have the word as if. As if means it's not true. It's not true. So compare certain beliefs. There were not different beliefs or comparisons of them. Disprove a widely held view. That's a possibility, yes, maybe. Or outline a common assumption. For now, we have to choose between C or D because they both seem correct. Was it really disproving that? No, the next paragraph is saying, however. So the next paragraph is actually disproving it. Here, it's just outlining it or introducing it. Well, it's the introduction paragraph after all. So I would say it's not disproving it yet. The next paragraph actually does. So let's pick D as the correct answer. And remember, in reading, there won't be any extra time for you to transfer your answers if you take IELTS on paper and on the computer as well. You need to record your answers directly onto in the answer field. So yeah, write D on the answer sheet as soon as you believe this is the answer. Okay, you need to find question numbers 27 on the answer sheet and write D in front of it. And do not write the whole thing. Okay, don't write the whole option, just the letter, just a corresponding letter. Okay, now, what are the writers? What are the writers doing? In the second paragraph. So the purpose of the second paragraph. Again, I'm not going to read the options at all because that would be only that's going to make things more difficult, really. What are the writers doing in the second paragraph? Okay. Second paragraph. Where is it? Okay, let's go. All right. There might be, however, believe the largest misrepresents the real nature of as well as that of creativity and innovation and many other realms of. Okay, so see, disproving a widely held view seems to be suitable for that second paragraph. Criticizing an opinion, this is negative, so yes, it's likely to be the answer. Justifying, so no, it's not justifying it. Explaining an approach, not yet. It was a very short paragraph. There was nothing to be explained there. Supporting an argument. Supporting an argument? I didn't see an argument to support. No. Yeah. Okay, so what happened? Oh, okay. Here it is. So yeah, it is not supporting anything. So the answer is criticizing an opinion because it was the opinion that, I mean, there was the word, what was that? Let me show you. However, so there might be some limited truth to this view. So it's very negative, limited truth. However, we believe, so yeah, definitely this is trying to criticize an opinion. In the third paragraph, what do the writers suggest about Darwin and Einstein? Again, I'm not reading the options. What do the writers suggest about Darwin and Einstein? Okay. Darwin and Einstein. So, setting aside such greats as blah blah, whose monumental contributions are duly celebrated, which is an innovation, is more of a process of trial and error. So it's like the writers are trying to say that these are exceptions, right? So Let's go to the option. There's an exception. Oh yeah, we have the word exception too. To general. So that's it. I think I have the answer, but let's read the other options just to make sure. The way of working has been misunderstood. No, it's not about misunderstanding. They're an ideal while others should. No. Their achievements deserve greater recognition. No. They were only exceptions because they their discoveries worked in a different way. So John Nicholson, whoever this guy is an example of a person whose idea. Okay, whose idea. Now, do we have the paragraph number? No. Then how can we find the relevant paragraph? Well, we're lucky to have the name, John Nicholson. So John Nicholson, where are you, John? John Nicholson. Well, the name has to be after Darwin because the questions are in passage order. Okay, we have Darwin and Einstein there. There we have it. John Nicholson. Notice that I didn't underline it because it's not an idea. It's simply a keyword. I mean, a person's name. So when it comes to scanning and finding a person's name, it's better to circle those items rather than underline them, so we don't get confused. And of course, down the road, the text would be full of underlines, and that would be absolutely messy. So we want to organize our work for better understanding of the text. So we circle the words John Nicholson. So the name is here. What was the question again? Just as an example of a person whose idea. So something about the idea, like what is this person's idea like? Working in the who to existence of blah blah blah, by combining different numbers of weights of these per two elements, could recover the weights of all the elements in the then known periodical table. Recovered the. These successes are all the more noteworthy given the fact that I was wrong about the presence of proto-elements. They do not actually exist yet. Amid his often fanciful theories and wild speculations, Nicholson, who also proposed a novel theory about the structure of atoms, blah blah, the Nobel Prize winning father of modern atomic theory, jumps off from this. Okay, we don't need this person at all. So let's see. It was a little tough. As an example of a person whose idea established his reputation as an influential scientist. Really? There was nothing about that. Was only fully understood at a later point in history. No, it was no, not at all. I didn't see anything about that. Laid the foundations for someone else's breakthrough. Maybe because there was a second person there. We need to read that later. Maybe. Uh, Initially met with skepticism from the scientific community. No, there was nothing about this. So we have no other choice but C. But let's just look to make sure. Uh, Jump off from this interesting idea to conceive his now famous model of the atom. Yeah, okay. Jumped off from this interesting idea to conceive. So yes, he actually, the second person made a discovery or made a breakthrough based on the findings of John Nicholson. Great. So yes. By the way, we don't have to be sure. Okay, you never have to be sure. When you cross out A, B, and D, the only option left would be C. So there's no point in really making sure if C is correct. Just for educational purposes, I did so, but in the real context, I would simply say, okay, C is the answer, and let's move on. Come on, let's go. I mean, there's no time for making sure, and there's no really point. We cannot be 100% sure most of the time. So what is the key point of interest about the blah blah syrup placement? Key point about this? Now, where is that? Well, we didn't see that in the skimming process, so probably somewhere in the middle of some of the paragraphs. The key point of interest. Where is that word? Oh yeah, here. Okay. in which the writers, okay, the so-called blah blah. Okay, let's read this from here. Consider one example of individual innovation in the U.S. horse racing. Okay. In which the rider's foot in his left stirrup is placed as much as blah blah lower than the right. It's believed to confer important speed advantages when turning on oval tracks. It was developed by a relatively unknown jockey named blah blah. Examined, hmm. So conducted methodical investigations or examined the extensive film records. Had he foreseen the speed advantage that would be conferred by riding? No. He suffered a leg injury, which left him unable to fully bend his left knee. His modification just happened to coincide. Okay, it was an accidental success with an enhanced left hand turning performance. This led to the rapid and widespread adoption of the riding, blah blah, by many riders. Okay, so fine. Okay, so it says the simple reason why it was invented. Maybe that's a possibility. The reason was luck, and it was a simple reason. The enthusiasm with which it was adopted. No, there was nothing about it. The research that went into, there was no research about it. The cleverness of the person. No, it was not clever. He had a knee injury. Had a problem with his leg, and that's why he came up with the idea. But accidentally, it led to better performance in horse racing. So, okay, fine. Okay, we got our answers in this question type. Now, what about test? What about yes, no, and not given questions? Like I said before, these are in passage order. They come in passage order. What do we do here? We can start with 32, but it's best to go through the questions real quickly and see if something is easier to start with. Well, luckily we have the name Plato and Da Vinci. I remember these names clearly, so why not start with this? We don't need to read the other ones for now. And whatever this is, others would be after. So Plato and Da Vinci. These guys, I know where they are. Plato, Da Vinci, here. Really? If, well, do we have these names elsewhere as well? No, we don't. I'm trying to scan for those names elsewhere, but no. Okay, good. That's good news. So if these names are found here, and of course question 32 is answered here, 33, 34, and everything else will be after. Amazing. So what's the question again? Acknowledging people such as blah blah as geniuses will help us understand the process by which great minds create new ideas. Plato and Da Vinci. And if we acknowledge them, do you think it will help us? Let's see. Where was that? Okay. But do you remember? Okay. Especially when one considers the diverse and enduring contributions of individuals such as blah blah blah. These notions merely label rather than explain the evolution of human innovations. We need another approach, and there is a promising candidate. So we need another approach. So this is not a good approach. What was the question again? Acknowledging them will help us. No, no. So the answer is no. So it's actually, so on the answer sheet, we're going to write no like that in front of 32. Or on the computer, you can just type no or select the option no, whatever the interface looks like. 33. We can go to 33 or any other. We don't have to go in order. The answers are in order, but we need to answer the best ones first. Now we have law of effect, law of effect, law of effect. So these three are from the same paragraph, and we know where the law of effect was, thanks to our initial skimming. Was discovered at a time when psychologists were seeking a scientific reason why creativity occurs. Okay. Discovered at the time. So the question is when it was discovered was advanced some 40 years after Charles Darwin. Yeah, this is after Charles Darwin was in published. Okay, on the origin of species. Yeah, and to repeat involves an entirely mechanical process of variation without any end objective insight. So, what's the question again? At a time when psychologists were seeking a scientific reason why creativity cares. Well, I didn't see anything clear about this. So for now, we have one answer, which is 30. Sorry, which is not given, NG. You can write not given or just NG, doesn't matter. But I would put a question mark next to this on the question paper or even on the answer sheet, just to tell me that just to tell myself that this is not a I mean, this is not a certain answer. This is just just a guess for now. If we find better evidence for this notion of discovery at a time, blah blah blah, we're gonna change it. But otherwise, this is the correct answer. The law of effect states that no planning is involved in the behavior of organisms. Okay. Okay. This simple law holds that. Okay, this is the idea. Organisms tend to repeat successful behavior and to refrain from performing unsuccessful ones. What's that? Tend to repeat successful behaviors and to refrain from performing unsuccessful ones. Okay, just like Darwin's law of natural selection and the law of effect involves an entirely mechanical process of variation and selection without any end objective in sight. So it's just based on not repeating bad behaviors and repeating good ones. So the line says that no planning is involved. Yeah, this is true. There's no planning. There's no end objective. Let's look at that again. No planning, and here it says there's okay without any end objective inside. So there's no planning involved in that. So this is 34, and 34 is yes. The law of effect sets out clear explanations about the sources of new ideas and behaviors. Clear explanations about the sources of new ideas and behaviors. Really? I didn't see that. The law of effect is not as clearly known as that of. I mean, not be entirely random, but yeah. Anyway, not clearly known as that of. If there seems to be those clear explanations about the source of new ideas. No, it's in fact the opposite. So it's not. There's no clarity there. So 35 is no. And 36, many scientists are now turning away from the notion of intelligent design and genius. I remember that somewhere. Time seems right for adaptation and for scientific exposure. Okay. This is wait a second. What happened here? Enough to design are now turning away. That's tricky. Now turning away. So if it's now turning away, it means it's happening now. But the text says seems right for abandoning the naive notion of okay, this seems that this time seems right. So the writer believes that it's the right time to do so. But we don't know. We don't really know if there are many scientists, oh, that's a big claim. Look, if the question makes a big claim like this, like many scientists are now turning away, this is not really the information we have. We have this information that says the time seems right for abandoning. Okay, fine, it's the right time, but are there many people doing so? Many scientists doing so? No. 36 would be not given, or NG, right? So now let's move on to the final questions of 37 to 40. Now, thanks to the other questions, I'm sure you, as well as myself, are more familiar with the content of the text. So we know most of the answers even without reading without going back to the text. And if we have the words in the box, there would be less need for like making references to the text. So the origins of creative behavior. This is a very general term. So it seems like it's a very general summary. Sometimes the summary tasks are from 1 or 2 paragraphs, but the origins of creative behavior. No, it's very general. Now, what we do is we first read the whole text here quickly to see. And it's skipping. We're gonna be skipping the gaps only to get a general idea. So the traditional view of scientific discovery is that breakthroughs happen when a single great mind has sudden blah blah. Although this can occur, it is not often the case. Advances are more likely to be the result of a longer process. In some cases, this process involves this and this, such as this and this and that. Okay, simply a decision to modify the position of his riding stirrups. So you see, we have we are familiar with all these things. There's also often an element of blah blah. For example, the coincidence of ideas that led to the invention of the post-it note. With both the law of natural selection and the law of effect, there might be no clear involved, but merely a process of variation and selection. Okay, let's look at the box of words too. Invention, mistakes. Notice that they're all nouns, but some of them are positive. Oh no, we have a verb too. One verb, noun, 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 noun. Some of them are plural, some of them are singular. These language points matter because sometimes the answer has to be a singular noun. So it has to be invention or luck or inspiration. Or sometimes we need a plural noun. So, or sometimes we need a verb. Now, we have only one verb. Okay. Do we even need a verb? No. See, we only need nouns. Sudden blah blah involves something, element of something, clear something. So we don't need this at all. So sudden what? Let's go ahead and try to guess this answer. When a single great mind has sudden luck, maybe goals, no. Invention, no. Sudden mistakes, no. Experiments, no. So the traditional way, this is the traditional view. So it's not about luck. The traditional view is about getting insights. And which word here means insight? Or inspiration. So let's just choose F for 37. So on the answer sheet, you'll find question number 37, and you write F in front of it. Remember, you don't need to, and you should not write, or must not really, write inspiration here. Just F. Advances are more likely to be the result of a longer process. In some cases, the involves, okay, this seems to be luck. Well, do we have luck here? Or mistakes, luck, such as, worry about them. Oh, okay. It's either luck or mistakes. Remember, this guy, what did he do? Nicholson. Let's go to the text. I think it's necessary because I don't remember what happened here. Was wrong. Okay, he was wrong about this. So because he was wrong, what was that? We should choose mistakes. So 38, that would be 38. That would be mistakes is D. Yeah. So then we have 39. There's also often an element of, this should be luck. Maybe. For example, coincidence means luck. So coincidence of ideas. The 39 is clearly E, which is lock. And one more, for example, blah, blah, blah. There's no clear. Okay. Clear what? There may be no clear. Okay. Remember, no end, no objective end. What was that? About the law of effect. We had this. I clearly remember that, but just want to show you. What was it? Okay. Without any end objective in sight. So there is no clear goal or something. Let's just see. Is it goals? Goals. There is no. There may be no clear. So grammatically, it fits. And yeah, so the answer is B. And there we have it. We have all the answers to the questions 27 to 40. About 33. Now, if it's a real test and if you have time, you should go back and read this part again to make sure it's really not given, because not given questions are really tricky. If you can't find something there, read on until you reach this next question. So, but 33 has to be between 32 and 34. So whatever content there is between these two questions will give you the answer to 33. Okay, that's it for now. If you guys have any questions about IELTS reading or even other skills for that matter, leave a comment down below and I'll personally try to answer those questions for you. There will be other videos that I'm going to make about reading, and I'll be analyzing other reading passages from Cambridge IELTS books, the official and authentic test materials. So make sure to subscribe and follow us for more. So have a good day, and see you in the next one.